All right, man, peace. So the Golden State Warriors have pretty much made themselves the cream of the crop in the team sports world of the United States. They're led by two of arguably the top three basketball players on the planet, that being Kevin Durant and Steph Curry. People may wonder how they make it work. They're going to give some insight into their relationship and their personalities and why they gel so well together. Of course, they're going to talk about it, and I'm going to chime in.
When Kevin Durant joined the Warriors 2 summers ago, there was a bunch of questioning about how he and fellow MVP Steph Curry would mesh. Rachel Nichols discovered their special bond formed long before they set foot on an NBA court.
Beautifully thrown by Steph.
You both have now seen yourself as the alpha, and on most teams, if the other guy then came back, there would be some resentment. Why does that not happen here?
Let me say this before Steph answers. They have the potential to prove themselves to be the greatest partnership in professional basketball history. When you look at partnerships, as far as NBA championship level teams, you're talking about Kobe and Shaq. And I know many people would say that Jordan and Scottie were a partnership. I would say that they were close to a partnership, but of course Jordan was the lead guy. I'm sorry, I've just seen Pippen come up small too many times in clutch situations. Certain brothers have gotten kind of upset with me saying that Scottie Pippen brings a lot to the table in regards to his skill set. I fully understand that. Now, Scottie Pippen was a great all-around player. Could bring the ball up, distribute, score, rebound, excellent defender. But I would not necessarily call him a partner on the level of a Kobe and Shaq partnership or a KD and Steph partnership, where Michael could ask Scottie in the fourth quarter, take the game over. It's game 5 of the finals. Take the game over. I'm not shooting well. Scottie couldn't do that. You understand? So that's why I put Scottie on the level of a Kevin McHale, a James Worthy, a Joe Dumars, Hall of Fame level supplementary players. Brothers can disagree with that. That's okay. They can. It's okay. Now, back in the 60s, you had another great partnership in Jerry West and Elgin Baylor. But they never won anything, so I can't put them on the level of KD and Steph or Kobe and Shaq. Now, some may say that Kareem and Magic were a partnership. You can certainly make that case. I think that in the early 80s, Kareem was the lead guy, and in the late 80s, Magic was the lead guy. But now we have the 1980 finals where Kareem was injured. Magic was able to come out and score 42 points and lead the team. So you can definitely make the case for that being, of the elite partnerships as well. But I think that Magic willfully took a supplementary role in the early 80s until Pat Riley told him that it's your team now, take over. So it's definitely a discussion. But back to the point, this partnership right here has the potential to be extremely fruitful because both of these players, their personalities mesh so well. They don't clash. They're both willing to divest and to support the other teammate, I should say. And they seem to be happy to see the other person do well. And their skill sets match. To be quite honest with you, they pretty much have the same game. KD just happens to be about a foot taller.
I think for me, I don't speak for you, I have utmost respect for who K is as a person. I played with him in 2010 on the World Championship team, but we played with him at NBA camp back in high school.
You weren't that good back then.
I know, K was always that guy. I know,
that's what I'm saying. But back then, I was like, who's this little skinny kid? And I was skinny myself. But.
Yeah, you were skinny. It was always like K walked in like that's I have respect for all that he's put into his craft and what he does, and dude's an all-time great.
Let me say this: Steph Curry's emergence in college at Davidson was one of the more extraordinary emergences in college basketball in the last 20 years. The way that he was able to dominate games with his shooting, as well as being able to penetrate and finish at the rim for a person who was not a quote-unquote explosive athlete, meaning he wasn't finishing over guys at the rim. He's not a gifted athlete per se, at least from an NBA perspective. But the things that he's been able to do on the professional level, I certainly did not see coming.
You appreciate that, especially in this business.
Yeah, I really got to know him in 2010, and we sitting down just on the bus to dinners to like breakfast, just getting to know somebody, and you spend that time with somebody as a teammate in another country, you know, you just get to, you know, appreciate them.
Dude, I just realized in Turkey, you were like one of the first dudes I told that I was about to propose.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
That's a backstory that nobody knows. I'll give you something right there. We were sitting at dinners, me and a couple other teammates at
right on the dock, I remember that.
And we were talking about, I was stressed out because when I got back from Turkey, I thought I was going to propose to my wife. And I told him at the table, and he was looking at me sideways like, for real?
We were young, 21. I'm like, go ahead, I'm going to go do my thing.
Hey, let me say this. Many people have put forth the idea that KD may return to Oklahoma City. I think that in his mind, Kevin Durant is a person who wants to be liked so much that he would actually let that come into his brain, but then he would consider the environment that's there, Russell Westbrook and that style of play. And I think that he smelled the roses now. I think that he's learned how to actually play winning basketball. So it would be very difficult for him to ever go back to play with a player like Russell Westbrook. So I don't ever see him going back to OKC. He may not ever develop the bond with his teammates in Golden State like he may have had at one point with his teammates in OKC, because he was pretty much raised there from an NBA perspective. But in Golden State now, it's almost like a guy who's had a tumultuous relationship with a hood rat and finally breaks that and gets with a good woman. And he might still think about the hood rat, but he's not going back to that.
Have some fun with that.
You guys, Coach Kerr's talked about it. It's a little bit more of a slog for teams that are trying to reach finals after finals. Your coach says you have gotten more chippy on the court because of that. Is that true?
I started it. I started it. That's my fault. I got to take the blame for that one.
You guys both have very strong mothers. Did you get a phone call from your mom after you get kicked out of a game?
We landed in Charlotte after the game.
From New Orleans?
That was right after, from New Orleans. It's like 3 in the morning. And my mom my phone blowing up. I'm like, I'm not answering this.
What does Mama Curry have to say when you act up during a game?
More mama worship programming right here. Now, I wonder if when Lonzo Ball has a bad game, one of these reporters are going to ask him, does LeVar call you up and instruct you on what to do? You see, brothers, these are little indirect ways that they utilize a certain form of programming to promote female worship. And once again, these two brothers are talking about their mothers. You're supposed to love your mother and honor her. But there's a difference between that and what they're trying to promote in seemingly quote-unquote innocent questions like this. That's a way for them to try to inject that feminine principle even into basketball talk. Like two kids in high school who got detention. She's asking them, what did your mother say when you got home? Now, Steph Curry is the son of a former NBA player. And she didn't even ask him, so did Del Curry have anything to say about this issue, Steph? She went straight to the mother.
The game in Memphis, I went up for that layoff, thought I got fouled, and threw my mouthpiece. First I take my phone, my mom texts me like, that was a bit dramatic, son. Move on. But yeah, it's a grind, it's a mental grind from having gone through this year after year. But that doesn't give us an excuse to just come out and not be prepared to play. And I think that got us a couple times early in the season. We've been a lot better. Every season has different challenges, and so we're in the middle of one right now.
Yes, they're definitely right in the midst of a very long title run. I expect them to win at least 3 of the next 4 titles. I mean, barring injuries, of course. But that's why I made the video a long time ago pertaining to Klay Thompson and how he conquered the disease of me. Because many players would leave a team like this, a Klay Thompson who's already accomplished a lot on a team level, to go somewhere else and average 27, 28 a game just to show people what he could do. So kudos to him. And it's nothing necessarily wrong with wanting to show people what you could do as an individual after you've accomplished things on a team on a team scale or from a group perspective. But much kudos to Klay Thompson for being able to see the forest through the trees and understanding that he's not just on a championship team. He's on a transcendent team. He's on a team that people are going to talk about 20 years from now if this society is still around in 20 years. But anyway, that was the video with Kevin Durant and Steph Curry. They do have a very, very good rapport. Very strong rapport because they don't have any personality traits that will alienate one against the other. But anyway, peace.